listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Paraversal Universe on WBHM Digital Broadcasting, WCET-FM in the Rift. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malik, and we are so glad you are with us, and it's nice to be back.
Yes, it is.
We want to tell everyone that pretty soon we're going to be offering a T-shirt for the of the logo and painting for Lake Monstrosities for purchase. The price has yet to be determined, but it won't be more than $25 per shirt because we won't let it go higher than that. And it may be cheaper. It's white and black and top quality cotton. Now, half the proceeds for this will go to charity. And the specific cause that helps 7-year-old Daniel DeMisa, who suffers from Dravet syndrome and seizures on a regular basis. The other half of the proceeds will go to making more shirts to continue the endeavor. This is the son of our graphic art director, Lawrence DeMisa, the same little boy who painted our logo picture for the Lake Monstrosities that we use for this very day. And this is the most excellent way to give back to the DeMisa family for all the artwork and friendship that they provide every week for the show, and of course for Lake Monstrosities, the largest social media group outlet dedicated to aquatic mysteries and wonders of all kinds. So we'll keep you posted as it develops. Jen and myself and a couple others already have a shirt. And their quality, their choice, the colors stand out and it washes well and all that. So we're totally happy with them.
And the designs are nothing short of awesome.
Yes, the artwork is great. It's awesome. And to think that this came from a little boy is even more amazing. So this segment is brought to you by the 5-star Reader's Choice Award winning epic fantasy trilogy Helm by Robert L. Malik. And back to the show. This is Paraversal Universe. And we have Kat Hobson right now in the studio with us. And we went off the air discussing the fear factor in paranormal. And that took us into demonology and demons and people thinking they have demons. Not to say that usually it's a mistaken identity thing, but not to say that it can't happen every so often where a true demonic case, comes to us or comes to Kat or other paranormal teams out there. So, what I'm going to do here, and I was just grabbing this when we came back on break. It's right here. And this article, which we're going to read, it's called Looking for a Demonologist Concerning Information, Help, Experience. And we wrote this, I want to say, maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
And this has turned out to be our most shared article to date. For those people out there who truly suspect a location is demonically infested, an individual or family is cursed, or someone is being oppressed or possessed by malicious or diabolical forces, and want to talk to someone who studies and understands these ramifications and principles that apply concerning these things, finding the right person who can help can be like finding a needle in a haystack, especially if one doesn't know what to look for in a credible and respectful professional, in this case, a demonologist. So let's define exactly what a demonologist is, some of the variations thereof, and the necessary simple research one can do to attempt to find the right individual to help or point you in the proper direction. Basically put, a demonologist is someone who studies and understands the workings and intentions of demonic principalities and activity. They are usually well versed in the paranormal phenomenon as well. Because of differences in religious beliefs and practices, there are many variations thereof. First of all, we should note that the title demonologist is not an academic one, per se, as one cannot get a degree or doctorate in demonology from an accredited college. No one can quantify or reproduce consistent results concerning demonology in a scientific setting, so it is technically considered a pseudoscience. However, this doesn't mean that there aren't very dedicated or educated demonologists out there. Some theologians, for example, are versed in this unique field of study. There are also certification courses and mentorships offered by those qualified or educated individuals who would teach others. Some are quite respectable, and we personally have no issue honoring. However, if the certification one claims doesn't involve a respectable time period of education and study, or a test at the end of the course, and is not taught by someone who is established and or credible, then we personally choose not to honor that particular certification. That is because some certifications can be bought without any training or education. So don't be afraid to ask a demonologist how they came about their title and how they came to be educated and experienced, or certified if they are. Now, certification is not necessary to be a good demonologist. Neither is a theology degree. But when present, however, they can both hold weight. But we should state that there are some amazing demonologists out there who aren't theologians, and there are amazing theologians out there who aren't demonologists. Because demonology is practiced by many different denominations and is not regulated by any public academic institutions, there will be a very wide range of diversity. Therefore, it is all the more important to look closely at the individual who you are inquiring about. Although demonologists can also be deliverance ministers or exorcists, this is not always the case. Some demonologists just diagnose hauntings to determine if they are diabolical or not, then find a holy person, deliverance minister, or exorcist in the area of the oppressed to help if they deem the situation warrants it. Although there are many different kinds of demonologists, they can be divided into two simple categories: the one who appease demons and the one who oppose demons. We personally believe the best way to alleviate any demonic issue is to oppose the demonic instead of the appeasement thereof. So let's look at what one should look for to make the distinction between the two. Let's start with the latter. Appeasement. Appeasement of demonic entities can involve anything from using different kinds of magic and rituals to straight up devil worship, and anything in between. Thus, open sin will be evident for those who practice appeasement. Hence, those will be signs to look for when one looks into a possible candidate. Recently, we needed to do a social media check on a potential demonologist regarding a matter. There are times we need to help someone find a demonologist close to their own location. In this case, the first post with photos we came across were of this particular demonologist playing a poker game in a strip bar with a stripper dancing around a pole right in front of the collective card players. Other posts also promoted sinful behavior, which is akin to appeasing one's demons, hence is appeasing two demons. It was clear to us that this was not the right individual for the presented challenge. The same principle of characters holds true with those who oppose the demonic. There should be a general overall absence of sinful material present, replaced positive intentions. Love for creation, praise for God, and the greater good. Things of this nature. So we suggest a simple background check and social media search of the individual to determine their personality and character before trusting them with your well-being. Any demonologist who opposes demonic forces is experienced in these matters knows the importance of wearing the spiritual armor of God, despite whatever greater good denomination they belong to. This involves practices like daily prayer, going to church, striving for grace, charity work, etc. This is important for the demonologist to stay protected, as well as to keep peace of mind and a healthy disposition. It will be evident in their words and deeds, and should reflect such wherever one decides to look. If you inquire about their spiritual practices and they have nothing to relay back to you, avert course. If a demonologist is truly needed, then the situation may very well require spiritual warfare. Spiritual grace is thus important. And because demonology is not regulated, you will run into all types. So if you notice anything you're not comfortable with and act in accordance with good common sense, that may be likely prevent an overall situation from becoming worse down the road. But what about religious preference and denomination? We recommend your best way is to try to find a demonologist who is either the same religious denomination as the afflicted, or at a minimum, regardless if networking is required, has a respect for one's spiritual belief system. However, one denomination can help someone from another as long as all parties are okay with this premise. Technically, denomination is just a label created by man to define practices of worship. This is a rift God can easily traverse. Mm-hmm. Also, don't be afraid to ask for references. Many demonologists work with or are affiliated with an organization or can produce the name of individuals who are willing to come forward to exert their faith and belief in the prospective demonologist. Some write books or articles which can be referenced as well. These references will attest to their faith, dedication, and understanding. However, without any kind of references, solid references, one may want to consider continuing the search until they find someone who fits the bill and can really help them out. A good demonologist should be plenty able to provide general information on the states of demonic haunting, as well as suggest on how to improve the situation for the individual or environment. There's spiritual counseling involved in the demonologist's work, so you want to find someone you're comfortable with communicating with, because without that, you are truly missing out on the full benefits of having a good demonologist on your side. Remember that second opinions also never hurt, especially if you aren't comfortable with the answers you were given questions you posed. A good demonologist should be able to give you plenty to work with. A shady demonologist should give you plenty to be wary of. It's important that we note, aside from demonologists who believe that all paranormal activity is demonic, most paralogians and demonologists believe that about 10 to 15% of hauntings are severe enough to be demonic in nature. Our own research over the past decade basically concurs. Either way, the point is that the majority of paranormal professionals believe that demonic hauntings are relatively low, and true possession is even lower yet. A decent demonologist will also want to rule out all other possibilities before assuming anyone is afflicted with demonic activity. So they will look at all other things which may simulate such experiences. Know that this is standard. Many claims of paranormal phenomenon can come in the way of intelligent ghosts, residual imprints, psychic kinetic activity, psychological hallucinations, earth energies, accidental misidentification, etc., which can also be simulated caused by demonic entities. But of those 10 to 15% that are considered demonic, the most severe of all paranormal situations, only 1 to 2% are fully blown possession cases. The rest of those are home infestations and depression situations, which, although aren't quite serious as full-blown possession, are still serious enough to treat and evaluate. If you truly feel you need, or someone you know needs to find help with a potential demonic situation, don't be discouraged if you meet resistance along the way. Odds are you will. Half of the demonologists out there won't likely be right for you, and half of the holy people out there don't want to, or aren't equipped to deal with the paranormal issues. So in closing, it's like anything.